This week's show brought to you by Frank Shoup, Georgetown's big name in cars. Roosters, a fun casual joint. Georgetown Advantage Air, now locally owned and operated by Gene Thompson. Welcome everybody to the Scott County Cardinals Coaches Show and the News Graphic Coaches Show with Coach Jim McKee. I'm Kal Oakes. And third round, middle of November the 15th, and we're still here talking about football. Doesn't get any better than that.
Oh, it's great, isn't it? You know, I'm just so happy for our kids. I think I look back and I think I actually told you wrong. I think it's actually 8 out of the last 9 years, and maybe I told you 6 out of the last 7.
Yeah, I think you told the team 7 out of 8, and then you told me 6 out of 7, and I did look, and it is 8 out of 9.
You did a little bit. That's why your beard didn't have time to shave, because you were doing this
my
internet
playoff
reset.
beard. You like
yes, sir. Yes. Playoff beard, baby.
Yeah, there we go.
But I think the greatest thing is just for the kids, and I can just remember when I started here in '97. 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. You know, any of those teams, gosh, what would we have done to be practicing today? And that's what people don't understand about, for example, University of Kentucky football. You know, they can redo Commonwealth Stadium, get new uniforms, get a few wins, but to change the culture, you know, Brooks was close, you know, but I mean, you're talking about, it takes a long, long time. And that's what I'm so happy about, is just that the continuity of the program and the opportunity for these kids. And I told them, hey guys, you know, maybe average Joe fan or even your mom or your dad or your coach take this for granted. Don't take it for granted. We get beat Friday, you still had a heck of a year. I mean, we're in the regional finals playing a team that's 12-0. We got a chance to win, get to the semifinals.
There's 8 6A teams that are playing this weekend.
Yeah.
The rest of them are sitting
and
home.
we've won 10 games.
Yeah.
You know, and we had a great practice tonight. And, you know, we will have another good practice tomorrow. And our kids are very excited and ready to go. And that's where I've become a better coach, too. You know, I can remember early in my career having teams at this time of year, and what they were talking about was the season being over, you know.
You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you get that kind of chemistry and you get those kind of kids, but it seems like you have the kind of kids that they're happy to be here and they want to keep.
They are. They're fired up, and you know, you've got to make some adjustments as coaches too. I mean, to come out here and do the same exact amount of hitting and conditioning that we were doing in August would be silly. They don't want to come out here and do that right now. You know, we want to come out here and they want their bodies to feel good. We want to time all our stuff up, and we'll do the necessary hitting to stay physical and do what we need to do on Friday. But no, it's great. And there's a lot at stake this week. Operation Christmas Tree. You know, if you win, make it to the semifinals, we're putting a Christmas tree inside the field house. Then we're going to have lights on the doors coming into the field house, Christmas lights, to get fired up for the next week. And then we have our family dinner next Wednesday, which anytime we play Thanksgiving week, you ought to come and bring your family. Around 12 noon in the high school cafeteria, the moms cook an absolute feast, and the players and their families come and eat. So region champs can never be taken away from them. It's just a big game for us on Friday.
Have the chance to practice on Thanksgiving Day and play the night after Thanksgiving.
It's awesome. Yeah, oh, it's awesome. And for the kid, you know, I mean, I can think about that as a high school player. You know, I wanted to go play, and the finals were in Louisville, and it was on Thanksgiving weekend. And I would just think, you know, man, like, we'll eat turkey in Louisville, so to speak. And it, you know, it never happened for me. Not because we didn't try, but because it's hard to make it happen.
There's an awful lot of schools and not many spots.
It's hard to make it happen.
Even with 6 classes, there's not many spots. Coming off what I thought, and you thought, I think, was your most complete performance as a team of the year against Connor.
Yeah, I thought we really played well in all phases of the game. You know, if you think about how the kicking game impacted the field position, got the big kickoff return to start the game. They had a 16-yard punt. They had another punt where they ended up trying to fake it, and we got them. Then they had another punt that Glenn fielded and returned over top the 50. So played really well in the kicking game. No, you know, as much as people throw and as much emphasis as there is on throwing the football, people are going to complete some passes on you. But if you think about defensively, how efficient we were defensively in terms of nobody running wide open. You know, no pump and go and a guy running wide open down the sidelines with nobody around him. So very efficient defensively. And then offensively, we scored every time we had the ball to the fumble in the third quarter.
Playing, again, a step up in competition, a team whose record says it all, 12-0 coming in, Ryle. What do you know about them? And on paper, it looks like they're about as balanced as it gets.
They're very balanced, and I think that's what makes them good. You know, I mean, if there would be a fault with what we do offensively or what we did last Friday, if all of a sudden we couldn't do that, we'd be in trouble. I mean, the very best, hardest offenses there are out there to stop are very balanced offenses. You know, if you're going to drop back and throw virtually every play, I feel okay. If you're going to run every play, I feel okay. But when you can do what their tailback's good, Chisholm, I'm not sure how you say it, it's a good runner. The quarterback's good. He has a very strong arm. Their receivers are efficient. Their offensive line knows how to protect. You know, they are smart enough in the framework of the offense that if they feel like they're going to get in a pressure situation, he gets the ball out quickly. If they feel like they're not going to get rushed real heavily, you know, they have plays that'll take the design shots down the field. And then defensively, they're good, and I think they're real sound in the kicking game. You know, they have very creative ways to kick off. All those are things that, you know, we've had to work on this week to make sure we've got ourselves in the right position to deal with their kickoffs. Their punt game is efficient. Their running back returns their punt. So really, they're very similar to Connor in that, you know, they're not a lot of weaknesses. We'll have to expose something by something we really do well. They're not going to go out there and just say, here, run in here and block this punt, you know, or whatever. They're not going to do that. But and they're better than Connor. They're a significantly better football team than Connor. They handle Connor in the regular season. And, you know, when you got a quarterback that's a Division I commitment, we might be saying the same thing about, you know, whoever. Mm-hmm. But when you got a legitimate Division I quarterback back there and he's behind a good line with good receivers and a good back, it's going to cause you problems.
And you've seen a lot of the same teams they've seen from going up to Northern Kentucky a little bit. You kind of ran in those circles. You've had some common opponents. I mean, really nothing you can do with it by comparing games like that.
No, it's so much of
it's situational.
Yes, and matchups. You know, I mean, all of a sudden, if we go out and play a game and, you know, that in that game, a couple of our best players happen to get hurt, we might barely win a game or barely lose a game that we would otherwise easily win. And the same thing would be true for them. You know, I don't know the situations in all their games, you know, but I know they're a good football team. I've been coaching football 25 years, and I know what the film says, and I know they're a good football team. And we respect them, and we respect everybody that we play. And we'll play the game hard and with class, and we'll focus on ourselves, and win or lose, we'll walk right over there and shake hands and either get ready for the semifinals or have a banquet and celebrate a great year. I mean, it's not life or death. And, you know, I mean, these kids are awesome. I want to be out here another week. They want to be out here another week. But we're also smart enough to know that, you know, being out here 3 weeks is a great blessing and an honor.
Pretty close to healthy this week. Kendrick,
pretty close.
Kendrick will be all right and available.
Yeah, I think, did you see him there?
Yeah,
I think he looks fine to me. And, you know, knock on wood, I wish you hadn't brought it up. I mean, but I think we were going into the game with every starter full go and ready to go, and that's extremely fortunate.
Something you haven't been able to say for a few years.
No, or in a few weeks, even in this season. You know, after I don't know, my memory's not perfect, but early in the year,
Cooper Watts missed 3 games.
Yeah. Kendrick missed 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, no. And that's the biggest thing that happens there is luck. But the second thing is, you know, like our principal, Mr. Covington, does a great job allowing us to structure in a framework for me to be in the weight room with them during first hour every day. Not every kid, but most of them. So they're physically extremely strong. We got like 12 guys can bench over 300 pounds. And then, you know, you got to be smart in practice, and you can't take a standard bred to go run the Derby because you're not going to win. And, you know, you got to keep your people healthy in practice, and we've been able to do that.
Good to be at home for a game like this too. Obviously.
Oh yeah, people say, well, go on home road, this, right, you know. I mean, and so, I mean, sure, it's just like somebody asked me once, oh, you don't mind when it's cold, do you? I'm like, well, if you want to know the truth, if it was 62, clear, sunny, I had a cold Gatorade on the sideline if I needed it, and a huge crowd, and all the players were healthy.
That'd be ideal.
So, you know, I mean, if you had a choice, whether you want to play on the road or play at home, play at home.
That's 7:30 Friday night at Toyota Stadium, 3rd round regional final. Hope you can be there. Let's see what else.
Can I say one
Sure.
more thing before we go? Just take an opportunity. I don't know how many parents watch this or how many of our players watch this, but, you know, so much of the emphasis and the focus, and rightfully so this time of year, is on Kendrick or Colby or Brian Hudson or Cooper Watts or Josh Davis. You start talking about, but, you know, the guys that are now 3 weeks removed from a JV game that are still out here holding those bags for us, running those scout team plays for us, and pushing. You know, that, as a parent, I hope those parents pat them on the back, and as a kid, I hope they take pride in that, and I hope that what they see is, man, I can't wait till 2017, dude, because we're going to be back in the regional finals in 2017. I don't know who we're going to be playing, but it's going to be awesome.
That's what you want. Got some special guests. Let's see what they had to say about this week's game. All right, we're here with Coach Willard. Coaches the offensive line, and Coach, that line is always a point of emphasis here at Scott County, obviously, but it seems like they've really progressed this year, especially from week 1 to now.
Yeah, they really have. You know, it's we got a ton of returning starters, which really helped us. Brian Hudson started last year, Colby started last year, Jesse Hamby started last year, Noah started on the defense, and Sulski was a really good backup for us last year, and then we moved Cameron Shepard from quarterback to tight end, and then Landon was the JV tight end last year, so they've all had experience at the positions they're playing.
You got guys like Colby and Brian on the line who get a lot of attention from around the state, but that's no guarantee of success for a line as a unit, is it? I mean, you got to get them to all work together.
Yeah, and that's what I tell them all the time is, you know, we have to play together as one unit. It's important that the right guard knows what the right tackle's block is and knows what the center's block is, so it helps him know exactly who he's supposed to block. So it's not just knowing your assignment. When you become a really good offensive line, you know the other guys' assignments on the line also.
We had a lot of the assistant coaches and other people affiliated with the program on, and one thing I've noticed is the continuity with this program. Now, how many years have you been with the football program?
I've been here since 2004.
Yeah.
And before that, I was at Webster County High School. I was the head coach there, and before that, I coached at Shelby. So, you know, I've been around football a long time.
And of course, you coach multiple sports. How does that play? You get to develop a certain rapport with the kids year-round because of that?
And you know, we have a ton of guys that are multiple sport players. Cooper Robb, Landon, Bryce, Sam Sutton all play on the baseball team. All started last year, all played a bunch, so that helps that I know those guys.
And it seems like seasons here are pretty long. I mean, football season's a long season, and then it won't be over long and you'll be talking baseball. I mean, is that...
Yeah, we're, you know, Coach McKee always gets on me. He says I try to slip off during November and do baseball conditioning when we're supposed to be coaching the offensive line. But, you know, it's one of those things. I really like coaching both sports, and it's fun coaching both sports.
You talk about the conditioning and the overlap. Is it harder to get for kids to play 2-3 sports these days? It just seems like it's a dying breed.
It is, but we, you know, for some reason we're going through a period right now where we have a bunch of guys that are multi-sport athletes. So, you know, they've transitioned well from one sport right to another sport. You know, I think Cooper and Sam and Landon will all go right into basketball as soon as football's over, and as soon as basketball's over, they're going to go right into baseball. So it's been good. You know, you don't get, you know, I think a lot of times people get a little stale with playing one sport and get a little burned out, and those guys are just constantly on the go and make good grades while playing 3 sports.
I say it says something about the quality of the kids and the quality of the families that they're able to do that and balance it all.
It really is. They've done a great job, and you know, we wouldn't be as good as we are in football and any sport, basketball, baseball, without those guys that play multiple sports.
The offensive line often doesn't get enough credit. That we've heard from the coach. Now let's hear from one of those linemen and what he has to say about this week's game.
The Cardinals feel that last week's performance against Connor was their most complete effort of the season.
Yeah, I think we played really good. Everybody was doing their part. The O-line did really good. I mean, just everything was put together perfectly, I think, in my point of view.
Undefeated Ryle High School marks Scott County's toughest challenge to date.
I know they got a bunch of quick players on their defense, but I think personally the way that we're playing, I think we'll run over them.
The Cardinals are right on track to meet each of their preseason goals.
I've actually expected to be here at this point. I think we'll go further, and I think we're doing really well now.